Nah, morally mongwe. Tshwanele yo mongwe. Njono. Akazi tsebe a botse hore ke mofeo. Ntangwe ke yo. Ntangwe ke yo la. Ke tesutse ba bjang hore be moyo. Kopa misitše bona.
Hello everyone, welcome back to ASR, African Stories Realized. This is our weekly review of Queen Modjadji Season 1. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's get into it. Episode 2 picks up after Mambo had ordered the death of his newborn son. Dzugudini tried to flee with her baby, but Mambo's henchmen caught up with her, snuffing the baby out to the screams of her mother. Meanwhile, Mpabanchi confronted Mambo, questioning if he followed the ancestors' instructions correctly. In an attempt to rectify his mistake, Mambo was then forced to ask his favorite daughter, Keale, which she immediately rejected in disgust. However, Mambo gave her some time to think it over, something he would regret later. After consoling a mourning Dzugudini, Kgadikgolo went to confront her brother about the failed prophecy, ultimately figuring out that Mambo defied the prophecy to spare his favorite daughter. Mambo insisted that he would rectify his error by sleeping with Keale. However, panic ensued when it was brought to Mambo's attention that Keale had fled in protest. He demanded that Kgadikgolo bring Dzugudini to him, but she refused, insisting the king must approach her himself. Little did Mambo know that Kgadikgolo had foreseen Keale's defiance and prepared Dzugudini to make demands of the king when he returned. Meanwhile, at the Bapedi royal settlement, were introduced to their king and his right-hand man, Phatla, as they plot to raise Mambo's remaining son, Mamaila, as their own, so he can one day help them steal Mambo's kingdom. Back at the Modjini settlement, Mambo avoided going to see Dzugudini. However, Mpabanchi received another message from the ancestors, a two-headed snake, prompting him to confront his king once more about the failed prophecy. Mambo finally admitted to Mpabanchi that he knocked up the wrong daughter. Mpabanchi and Mambo immediately visited Dzugudini in an attempt to apologize and request her to answer the ancestors' call once more. Dzugudini negotiated for her mother's land and a prestigious seat in the Mambo's royal council. Despite Mambo's horror at his daughter's demands, Mpabanchi accepted on Mambo's behalf, and another conception ceremony followed. After an anxious wait, Dzugudini finally gave birth to a baby girl. However, she refused to hold her or feed her, declaring to her aunt that the baby was cursed and she won't raise her, even threatening to kill the baby. Kgadikgolo introduced baby Mselokwane to the ancestors as news reached Mambo that a queen had been born. Clouds began to darken as Mambo prepared for the impending rainfall. The episode ends with scenes of celebration as the rain finally came, ending an almost decade-long drought. However, Dzugudini carved a lonely figure in her hut, barely acknowledging the rain she sacrificed so much for. Another solid episode today with a bittersweet ending. Masutani Hope Rasekele as Dzugudini has really impressed me with her performance. I can't imagine it's an easy role to play, but she executed with a lot of strength. The way she's portrayed this character's development throughout the first 2 episodes has been very powerful, and I can't imagine anyone else playing the role. It's been very much the Mambo Mukoto show so far, and all his scenes with the rest of the cast have been flawless. Kgadikgolo and Mpabanchi have also played a very important part in the success of the show so far. The Rain Queens are said to be descended from the Monomotapa royal family. The family ruled in what is now Zimbabwe during the 1400s and 1500s. The sons of Monomotapa, who was the monarch of the Karanga people, didn't get along. Each set himself up as an independent chief, dividing the empire of their father amongst themselves. One of these leaders ruled his people through supernatural means and was regarded as a sacred king known for using rain charms and sacred beads to make it rain. He had a daughter named Dzugudini, and in the latter part of the 1500s, the royal family experienced a crisis when the unmarried Dzugudini gave birth to a son. Dzugudini refused to reveal the name of her baby's father, but it was soon revealed that the king's son had an affair which resulted in the conception of Dzugudini's illegitimate child. The king was forced to banish his daughter from the kingdom, and she fled south with her son to what is now Limpopo. Her mother stole the king's rain charms and sacred beads, which she taught Dzugudini how to use. Over the next 2 centuries, Dzugudini founded the Lovedu tribe in the area we now know as Balobedu. Following her death, male descendants of Dzugudini ruled the Lovedu people for a time, leading up to the events of the Queen Modjadji Season 1 premiere. The show picks up during the latter part of the 1700s with Mambo Mukodo, his daughter Dzugudini, and the prophecy of the Rain Queen. I hope I didn't confuse anyone. I thought it was just important to flesh out the story a bit more because the show has alluded to some of these events from the past. I've noticed people already making comparisons between Shaka Ilembe and Queen Modjadji, but I think both shows are very authentic and there's potential for a crossover episode between the two, but we can discuss that in another video. The trailer for episode 3 reveals that there will be a time jump to age up the Rain Queen, and that also means Mamaila, the king's last remaining son, will have aged up as well. I can't wait to see what episode 3 has in store for us. We'll be back next week with another review. Don't forget to like and subscribe. This is ASR for the love of African filmmaking and storytelling.